So, if you've stumbled across this channel in the vast reaches of the YouTube algorithm, you'll have likely watched the Justice League film. Now, what you thought about it is none of my business. I thought it was absolute shit. However, I still bloody love the Justice League for all the mad adventures they've been on. And for that very reason, I'm gonna act like a dodgy bootlegger today down the Sunday market and show you some of the mad versions of the League that are anything but discount. With this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 insane versions of the Justice League you won't believe exist. Number 8. The Crime Society of America. When Infinite Crisis dropped in 2006, a new alternative universe was created mirroring original Earth 3, which came jam-packed with evil alternate versions of popular heroes. Instead of the Justice League of America, the Crime Society of America was presented as the primary force of evil in the universe. This new group introduced members previously unseen, including evil doppelgangers of Supergirl, Black Canary, and Booster Gold. Ultimately, the Crime Society of America and their entire universe was destroyed in the Countdown Arena series. Monarch recruited numerous characters for his army, including the Crime Society, and the ensuing battle resulted in the destruction of the entire universe, which of course included the Crime Society. Number 7. Justice League from Injustice Gods Among Us. In the video game and comic franchise Injustice Gods Among Us, the Justice League still call themselves by the same name. That's about the only similarity between the two universes though, because the Injustice universe is about as dark as one can get. After the Joker destroys Metropolis, killing Lois Lane, Superman loses his cool and thrusts his hand all the way up inside the Joker in a way that not even one of your mums would allow. There's my one per list. Superman then snaps and reforms the Justice League in a new mold, and it's, well, more than a little dictatory. What makes the Injustice world so compelling isn't that it takes place in a darker timeline or alternative evil universe, rather it takes place in a world where Superman is pushed to the breaking point, proving that anyone can be pushed over the edge. Number 6. The Injustice Syndicate. For every superhero, there's an alternate evil version. The same is true for teams, and in 2009's Batman the Brave and the Bold episode, Deep Cover for Batman, an alternate version of the Injustice League and Crime Syndicate are merged into a single new group. The Injustice Syndicate consisted of Owlman, the evil version of Batman, Blue Bowman, who was Green Arrow's counterpart, Scarlet Scarab, and the Silver Cyclone, who were Blue Beetle and Red Tornado's alternates, respectively. In the episode, Batman manages to travel to their evil dimension where he posed as Owlman in an attempt to learn the group's villainous plot. After infiltrating their ranks, he learns of their plan to destroy other universes, which is something that Batman takes rather seriously. Using his skills, Batman confronts and manages to defeat the Injustice Syndicate, saving the day once more all by himself. I mean, who needs the rest of the Justice League when you're Batman, right? Number 5. Just Imagine. Right, so all the entries so far have dealt with evil versions of the Justice League, so let's change it up and talk about the Just Imagine League. The Just Imagine range was conceived of when Stan Lee hopped over from Marvel to pen a series of stories showing how the DC heroes would look if he had come up with their origins. These new characters were vastly different from their historical counterparts, but they provided a fascinating approach on heroes we all knew and loved. Number 4. Justice Lords. The Justice Lords are another example of an alternate version of the Justice League created for an animated series. In this case, it was 2003's Justice League episode, A Better World. In this reality, Lex Luthor became the President of the United States and decided to execute the Flash. That didn't sit well with the Flash's friends, of course, which is why an enraged Superman confronted Luthor in the Oval Office. Realizing he would never reform Luthor and keep him from committing such villainous acts, he incinerated him on the spot with his heat vision. With the President out of the way and a new method devised to deal with villains, the Justice League rechristened themselves the Justice Lords and went about establishing a new world order under their air quotes protection. The OG Justice League gets wind of this and travels across dimensions to stop them, even roping in their version of Lex Luthor to help rectify those wrongs. Number 3. The Injustice League. Back in 1989, Justice League International number 23 introduced a new version of the team as the Injustice League, and it was silly. Unlike other Justice Leagues, this group consisted entirely of criminals who never really made it big in their various enterprises. The team included Major Disaster, Big Sir, Clue Master, Multi-Man, Clock King, and the Mighty Bruce. They barely managed to pull off any capers and mostly just got their asses kicked. The retroactive book The Silver Age, The Showcase number 1, published in 2000, introduced a different version of the team consisting of members like Joker and Bizarro. This group was far more successful, but not as much fun, which is why they don't make this list, as I bloody need more fun in my life. Number 2. The Joker League. If you've ever wondered what the world would look like with the Joker in charge, 2000's Superman Emperor Joker is a must-read. The book shows the DC universe turned upside down in the Clown King of Crime's personal view thanks to his acquisition of a portion of, and I will say this wrong, but please for the love of God, I am trying, Mixel-Split-Spix powers. Bloody hell, Mixel-Split-Slick powers. Did I get that right?
No, you casual.
This essentially made the Joker a god, which is how he was able to kill Batman every day only to resurrect him shortly after his slaughter and do it all over again. To make things worse, he reimagined the Justice League into the Joker League of Anarchy, which consisted entirely of criminals instead of superheroes. They enacted Joker's law, which, as you might expect, was the exact opposite of justice. And number 1, the Crime Syndicate of America. The Crime Syndicate of America is the first alternate version of the Justice League to sprout up following the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths. That event erased the multiverse but left the antimatter universe, also known as the Quadian universe, within DC's continuity. Within the antimatter universe, the Crime Syndicate existed as an evil version of our favourite superheroes, only they were far more dastardly than their previous versions. Superman was called Ultraman and he had no qualms about disintegrating anyone who bothered him. Batman's evil version, Owlman, would stop at nothing to kill his enemies, and the Flash's alternative, Johnny Quick, was a drug addict. Other members on the roster included Superwoman, the evil version of Supergirl, and Power Ring, which I now realise I should have used my one per list joke on, as the evil Green Lantern. As you can imagine, with all this evil, a right good walloping was lining up, and the original JLA came to scrap, which resulted in one of the most brutal and best conflicts in Justice League history.